Hi there, this is Linda and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing a flip through of my planners for February 2024. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, so I got a lot of feedback last month that you guys wanted to see monthly flip throughs in my planners. But there's not a ton in these. I don't add a ton to my planners because I don't plan every day. I just plan as needed. So I decided to combine them into one. If you wanted to see my Hobonichi cousin, that is more of a journal and I have that in a separate video. So I will link that one down below for you if you are interested in seeing my journaling instead. As far as planners, I use 3 planners, but one of them I don't share online because it is my work planner. So I plan everything related to my job. I am a tax attorney in a Hobonichi weeks. And I use that to document, kind of plan like when I have meetings, when I'm in the office, when I'm at home, when I have to travel for work, and the projects I need to accomplish. But that is confidential for my job. But that is important information to kind of separate where things are. So I know some people use like a catch-all planner for everything, and that's great for some people. That doesn't work for me because my life is very compartmentalized. When I'm at work, I'm working on work. When I'm at home, I want to not be thinking about work. And like I said, everything from work is confidential. So this is my B6 Common Planner, and this is what I'm using for most of my everyday life planning. This is my Hobonichi Day Free. That is an A5 size, and this is being used for craft planning, but I'm going to do this one first, and I'll go through that in a minute. So for this planner, in the intro here, and I have a flip through of like the setup of this, and I shared in my 2024 lineup video, so if you want to see kind of like where it started, I would suggest going to check those out. But for now, I have this. It has been in here for a bit. This is from Abby C. from her Patreon, and then I have this from Brandy Kincaid, just adding a little bit of decoration in here. I started with a digital vision board, which is just kind of the mood I want for this year. My one little word this year is ease. I'm looking for a lot of like fun, relaxation, but also progress towards my goals. I have these tabs here, which I change every day as needed. So you can see kind of where those are, and I'll show you. Here is just my goals, and that is, I don't check in on this that much because this kind of layout didn't work so well for me, but it is still there. But here is the quarterly pages, and I was really excited about these when I first got the Common Planner. This is one of the things that really sold me on it. Let me zoom you guys in so you can see a little better. Here you go. So over here, I have all of my monthly cleaning that I want to do, and I mark it out when I do it. I have not been on top of my cleaning lately, but that's fine. I have other things I'm working on. And then I also have some additional projects here. So these are the priorities for this quarter. I really want to be fully moved into my planners and journals for 2024 and feel comfortable in them. I want to update my personal filing system. I'm redoing my laundry room. I'm working on decorating my living room, and I'm cleaning out my basement and setting up a home gym in there. So I already did the basement for the most part, but the rest I'm still in progress. Here I'm doing my my tracking. So here I'm tracking planning, whether or not I exercised, I got 10,000 steps, whether or not I pick up the house. This is something I want to do every single day. I want to take 10 minutes out of my day and walk around and clean up the house. It just makes such a big difference to me. Clean the kitchen, drink water, or like I drink water every day. So obviously that's not what that means, but it's just whether or not I feel like I really consciously made an effort to drink enough water. If I slept well, I suffer from insomnia a lot, but I've been doing much better. I'm on medication for it. And I also have, other lifestyle things I've done to try to make it better, but I do like to track that. So, and I will put an I if I have insomnia. So this is how February's gone. This is March so far. And then if I feel good, that's just like physically, mentally, am I feeling good? And then I put H's when I have a headache because I also suffer from chronic headaches. So here I went on vacation in February and I just didn't do my tracking while I was traveling. Okay, flipping to the monthly. So my monthly, I have a repeat of what's on my yearly here in terms of my tasks. And I just check it off in both places. Here, I'm just checking it off, and here I'm writing the actual date that I accomplish it. This is like my additional task list of things I want to work on, and these are my February tasks. So down here, I have like my long-term cleaning tasks, like the types of things that you do like maybe like once a year or so. And I have those down here, and then I put them over here. If I don't get to them, like in February, I didn't. February was a kind of a crazy busy month, and I was at home a lot, so I didn't get to much around the house. I will just move them into the next month on my task list down here. In February, you can see I traveled to St. Lucia. I went on vacation for a large chunk of the month. I had a lot of work going on. I helped my daughter pick out her first apartment. But this is not like this is purely future planning for me. I don't use this to go back and write stuff in. This is just to have these plans for when I need them. For my memory keeping, that is all done in my Hobonichi cousin this year. Moving into my weeklies. So my weeklies, I'm making them cute, but they're also supposed to be functional. So what I do is I write out the chores that I want to accomplish that week and check them off as I go. My tasks that I want to accomplish that week. Sometimes these things come from the monthlies. Other times there are things that I do every week that are not on here, like I vacuum or try to vacuum. Actually, that is on here, but I try to sweep fairly regularly, and that's not on here because I want to do it more than once a month. Doing it once a month is just insufficient to me. And then I have my meetings, my schedule here. I write out my meals and my meal plan list to pull from. This week I was on vacation and I didn't plan at all. I didn't even bring this planner with me on vacation, which is great. Another reason why I really like having my planning separate from my journal, because when I travel, I like a break from the schedule and everything I have to get done and to-do lists and everything, because part of the point is to take a break from life, but I don't take a break from my journal. Coming back, this was my travel day back, and then getting back into routine. I have my meal plan again. I do have stuff planned on the weekends. I put it just kind of around that. I'm thinking I might start drawing a box around this. I'm not sure. Same format though. This format seems to be working. Switching up the colors. So like here I was doing more of a rainbow. Then I went with like a black and gray with this beautiful washi tape from the Coffee Monster Co. And then for the last week of February, this fun spring color theme because I'm kind of ready for spring. Then moving into my dailies. So I create a daily section with a divider here, and then I add a tab from the Coffee Monster Co. And I'm not adding those until I need them. I didn't use this a ton in February, partially because I was traveling so much, but it's still here. I have some kind of like messy stuff of like things I wanted to do before I traveled and over a specific weekend. Rather than doing a daily list, I just had a full like weekend list, my packing list for my trip. And then here is coming back my regular back to daily routine here. So I have my daily checkoff list and then daily lists as I need them. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I didn't plan Friday, I did mess it up. Saturday, Sunday, and that's it. So like I have a decent amount of days planned, but not every day needs planning in here. I decided to fill this in with a quote just to have a completed page, but I do sometimes leave blank spots in here, and that's totally fine. This is more for function than anything else. I also have just random notes here of other things I need to do. I wrote down my tax information, but I just covered that for you guys here. But I'm writing down like notes when I was editing videos or projects I wanted to photograph, just like other task lists and things all go into here. And that's why I love having the undated as the majority of this book, because it's just a notebook where I can write down whatever I need. Here, moving into the week of February 19th, I switch up the color scheme. This is matching that weekly color scheme again, with the grays that I did on the weekly spread, but again, only doing the days I need. So we have Monday, Thursday, Friday, and that's it. Here's the next week, only Monday, Thursday were needed. And I have a sticky note here covering, I think I had some like financial notes on there. And that is the end of February in here. So you can see I don't have a ton that I put in here, but I love that this is something I can pick it up when I need it. I can put it down when I'm not feeling it. It's very quick every day just to do my tracking and just quickly check in on what's on my weekly and my monthly if I don't need a daily task list. So it's great for that. And then I can just kind of throw this in my bag if I need it, and I don't have to worry about like filling in a daily every single day. Okay, now let's move on to my craft planner. So my craft planner is similar in that I don't need to use it every single day, but this is what I do for everything on my Instagram, my YouTube, and all of my projects, like my paper craft projects that I want to work on. So I did start doing some tracking here at the beginning of the year, mostly because the spread existed and I thought, you know, I should do it. So I was just tracking kind of where my time was going, but I found that like updating this tracker was just another step I needed to do every day that I didn't really feel like I was getting any value out of it. So I just consciously made a choice to put this aside and not work on it. I'm not doing it in March. Maybe in April I will come up with another use for the spread, but if not, that's okay. This is not why I purchased this book. Here's my monthly for February. So you can see basically what this is a calendar of what I post and where. So I have my YouTubes and my Instagrams, and this is just what I put once I've scheduled it to post. I will write it in here. I have a separate large calendar on my desk where I do my actual like pre-planning with sticky notes that I can move to decide what's going to be posted when. But this is once it's been posted or scheduled to post, I write it in here and I try to work a couple weeks ahead if I can. Not always that successful, but because I have a full-time job and I try to run a pretty consistent Instagram and YouTube, I need to do a lot of planning to plan ahead so that I'm able to schedule content to come out regularly even when I have work. Then let's move to, so this is the day free. So after the monthlies, there's nothing in here. And I've already shared a lot of this. I have some previous videos on this planner. So if you want to see before February, you can go ahead and check those out. But otherwise, I'm going to jump right to February. So here are my projects and goals. I did not do much crafting in February like you saw in my other planner. I didn't do much in February because I traveled. I was struggling with burnout and I was very, very busy at work. So those were really kind of my priorities in the month of February. So this really kind of fell by the wayside, but that's okay. So here I have all the projects that I had like wanted to accomplish or wanted to get to. I didn't. I got some stuff done. You can see I did. I checked some things off. I obviously did my Cocoa Daisy assignments that I needed to accomplish. My story kit stuff got pushed to March, not by my own choice, so that was fine to not get done. But I didn't really get much done in terms of other projects. I did a few Project Life spreads. I did a couple of, this is more Project Life spreads, trying to finish stuff from 2023. I worked on my 2023 Mini-Me album and started to get some of those projects done. But otherwise, I didn't really do a ton in February. On my tracking here, I track all of my stamps that come in, my papers and my cards that come in and go out, and kits as well. And not a lot happened. I didn't get a lot of new supplies. I didn't use a lot of supplies. It was just a pretty quiet month in my craft room. I also write down all of the projects that I complete down here, partially so I know that they've been put into this tracking, but also just to have a record of everything I've done. So you can see here, I did, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did 8 scrapbook projects in the whole month of February. That's not that many, at least not for me. But it's still great. You know, I did a few Project Life spreads here. I did, yeah, I got a few Project Life spreads completed. I got my Cocoa Daisy projects completed and some story kits. So I'm happy about that. Then moving on, I started doing some planning for my Mini-Me albums. So I have other videos on my Mini-Me album, so I'm not going to share a ton here, but I'll just show you quickly. So starting in 2022, I started keeping these 6x8 Mini-Me albums for stories about me and my life, in addition to my Project Life albums. So these have a lot of story kit projects, but also other projects. This is part 1 for 2023. In 2022, I just had 1 album, but in 23 and 24, I'm aiming to have 2 for the year. So it's just kind of, you know, I have my stories in here. I've got a lot of projects, and this one is almost completed. but part 2 of 23 and part 1 of 24, I'm really working on right now, and they are not even close to completed. So how I organized this was on the left-hand side, this is what's already in the album, or I know where it's gonna go in the album. So just bringing this back over, a lot of these pages, you have to adhere them back to back. So like these ones were both 6x8s. Here we have a 6x8 and then a pocket page, and then here's a pocket page again. So you have to kind of plan your layout so that the different designs fit together. So here's another pocket page. So then on the back, I will need another pocket page. So in order to do that, it requires a lot of planning about what's on the left-hand side versus the right-hand side. So here what I have is the title of the page, just so I remember kind of what it's about. The plan, so this is where I planned it, which I'll get back to that in a second. Here's what's on the left-hand side, the right-hand side, and then this is where I am in the process if it's completed. On this side, I have all of the projects that I have planned that are not yet set in here because I don't know where they're gonna go. Either I haven't laid them out, I haven't created them. Some I did create, but they don't have specific places yet, and I will figure it out as I go. So for the plan, I share my story kit planning in the story kit classroom, and I also do planning with the quarterly scrapbook kits from Allie Edwards. Other projects I don't plan quite as much, but I do some other ones that I do plan. So basically what I do is I have them listed out here with the plan that they are. So for example, this insert is a new relationship. It has an insert in it. It is with the start story kit, and it is the 4th project I plan. So if I flip to my start story kit planning, I have numbered all of my spreads on there, and this is the 4th one. And then I know it has a 6x8 outside the page protector on the left and a 6x8 outside the page protector on the right. I have not yet made it, but when I do, I know that's the layout. I know where to find it, and then I can stick it into my album. I did the same thing for my 2024 Mini-Me Part 1. I figure once this page fills up, I will be done with those albums and ready to move on to the next one. This one, I might not even add that much more to it than what's listed here, but at some point pretty soon, I will move on to 2024 Part 2, which will probably be around June or July. And then here's my March planning. So I have my project life plans that I want to do for 2024. I have my assignments I need to do. I have my kit crush I need to do, which speaking of, I already did this, so I need to check that one off. I have all of the kits that I want to work on to crush, and I work on kits outside of what's listed here, but these are kind of like the ones that I want to focus on the most. Doesn't mean I won't do other ones. Like I didn't write them here, but I did yes, no number 10 because it was actually right here. These are my 2023 projects I want to finish up. And then my journaling and planning. I don't really have like a set like, oh yes, I completed my daily journal, but I put it here because I want to keep in mind that a lot of my time goes there, and that's why I'm not getting some of these other things done. So that's helpful for me to see as part of my process. My supplies coming in and going out, I haven't done that much yet. It's still very early in March, but this is where I am at this point, starting the month. So I hope that you enjoyed this look into my planners for the month of February 2024. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And as always, I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye.